I have started out using the holographic threads.
We were using holographic blending filament. This spool right here.
This is the gold, and we use that with a top stitch 100 needle. I did slow the machine down slightly. It will work better if it's vertical, so you want to make sure that your machine has a vertical spool stand, not just a spool pin. A spool pin is going to make the thread just pull. So you actually want a stand where the thread has a chance to uncoil and relax prior to going to the tension. That on most machines is what the issue you'll find with metallic threads, any of the holographic threads, is that the thread has not had a chance to relax prior to going through the tension, so it coils and then cannot. As you can see now, I'm getting excellent coverage, and this is one of the gold metallics that has pure silver filament that's blended into the thread, making it stronger and giving it a lot more luster, and it will make your projects just pop even more. This didn't require anything special. I have the same 100 top stitch needle in it. The machine is running at normal speed, and I do have the cone on the side, so if you don't have a thread stand, make sure that the thread is near the machine but standing so that it can relax prior to going in it. This is more of a round thread as versus any of the blended threads where it's more of a flat thread, and that's the thread we were using when we're doing the free motioning. So that's kind of the difference here, and that I just wanted the color difference. See, there's a slight variation in the color.
Yes, we have the holographic, and then we have the
and I think it's a beautiful combination, and it's great to use them together. You know, oftentimes we'll try to just do a project in one, but I think that the holographic thread adds a nice glimmer to it. We had red placemats, so I thought, oh great, holidays are coming up, so this is perfect for the holidays. What a great way to embellish.
The stabilizer in a hoop.
Yes, the stabilizer is the only thing I've hooped. We do have a feature that's a trace feature that will allow it to base your project to the stabilizer, and I think that that's going to give you a much better results with your thread.
Base it
instead of putting the project itself in the hoop. This is going to just tear away, and I actually did wind a red bobbin, so I have rayon thread in the bobbin. You could use cotton, but I just had red rayon. Wound the bobbin normally and put that in, and using the metallic in the towel.
Did you bypass the last guide before the
with this one I did bypass the last guide, and you'll notice that we're using a plastic embroidery foot. Most of the time on any of your metallic threads, you'll want to make sure that if you're doing embroidery in the hoop, or even with some of your free motioning, a plastic foot is going to give you a little bit better result than a metal foot. The plastic feet allow the thread to glide. The metal feet can cause it to snap because you again have metal to metal. And anytime you have that kind of friction, and this machine can go up to 800 stitches a minute. So when you are when you have that type of friction, the threads can snap. So try to make sure you're using a plastic foot, and most of your machine manufacturers will have some sort of plastic embroidery or free motion foot. As you see, I did reduce my presser foot pressure, which is one of the wonderful things about a Janome machine, is that we do have a mechanical feature that allows the pressure of the foot to be raised or lowered. And because we're working on this surface with such a dense stitch, I did want the pressure a little less so that it glides more over the top and gives you much smoother results. Keep in mind when you finish that you're going to want to do any of your trimmings. This has an auto trim feature in it, so I don't have a lot of jump stitches that I have to worry about once it's finished. And the design calls for a couple little flowers to go inside, so I think I'm going to use one of the greens in the hollow shimmers and one of the reds in the hollow shimmer, even though it's on red. But because it's the holographic threads, it's going to pick up a nice bling and sparkle.
That's going to be beautiful.
And it'll be an elegant table setting for your holiday dinner parties.
Is this pattern to come in the Janome?
This is a built-in pattern on the Janome 11,000. It is also a built-in pattern on the new top of the line, which is a Janome 12,000. And so I just opened it up standard, left the color selection. I didn't need to resize. This fits in the 200 by 200 hoop perfectly. and it's a perfect size for the corner on this.
On this placemat, it's so
Perfect.
beautiful.
I think it's going to just be gorgeous, and I can't wait to have a beautiful champagne flute on it.
Oh, it's
Elegant ivory and gold embellished china, and what a great place setting.
beautiful.
Perfect for a party.
Thanks, Lewis.
I think we are, we want salmon pink, and I think we're going to use that same color in, let's see what comes up. We're going to use the same color and just do the next variation here. And I really like how that's kind of poinsettia looking, you know, even though it's not.
Right.
It's actually a little rose. However, due to your color choices, you can get it to look that way. And I think it looks beautiful. And it's added a great luster and a great sheen. And as you can see, it's just sewing along without any problems. We still skip the last thread guide with this thread. And again, the machine has been slowed down, and we are.
And what size needle did you say you're using?
This is actually a 100 top stitch needle. We're finished. So we're going to just take that out, and there's our beautiful.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Placemat
my
for
goodness,
our holidays.
that is stunning.
Now, of course, me being me, it's still not glitzy enough. So I would add a few crystals in the scrolls just to bling it up a little bit more. And then I think you're done.
And I don't know if you know, Lewis, but chronic metallic threads are hand and machine washable.
Yes, and we can also dry clean them, can't we? So that these lovely placemats you may not want to throw in the wash.
Right.
So you can send these out and have them dry cleaned, and they'll come back just as gorgeous and just as beautiful. But it really is a very, very pretty table.
It's a great way to use some of your embroidery patterns on your machine with the chronic metallic threads.
It's wonderful.